Well, today is a sad day because my entire vlog for the Queerlet Readathon, which was a week long, has deleted itself, and I have no vlog for the entire readathon. Hi loves, welcome to Rye's Reading Corner. I am Rye. If you are new to my channel, I would love for you to subscribe to my channel. And if you like this video, give me the thumbs up, please. I would super appreciate that. So, as I said before, I have been participating in the Queerlet Readathon. I vlogged for the entire week. This was my first vlog. I was super proud of it. And I went to go download everything so I could upload it to YouTube. And I went to press the play button to just go through it, just make sure everything was good. And it was gone. There was like the beginning and the end. All of the good stuff was completely gone. So it has been a very sad day, or evening, or late evening, early afternoon, because I'm very sad. So I decided I still just wanted to touch base with everyone and share what I read over the week of the Queerlet Readathon, because I had a lot of fun and I read some amazing books and some not so good books, and I still wanted to share with you guys. So sorry for the more casual atmosphere. I wasn't planning on vlogging today, but I really wanted to get this out because the Readathon did end yesterday. So for the Queerlet Readathon, the first book that I read was Pumpkin Hens by Rainbow Rowell. This was a graphic novel, and it was actually my first graphic novel I've ever read for enjoyment. I've read another one for my students in my classroom, but this was really the first one I've read for my own enjoyment. So we have our two characters, which are pictured on the front cover, and they work at a pumpkin patch, and it's their senior year. And this story takes place on their very last day of working at the pumpkin patch, and it's discusses them coming to terms with this is the last time they'll ever work at the pumpkin patch together, and that's kind of up until this point where their friendship existed. It didn't really exist outside of that pumpkin patch. So it's coming to terms with things are not going to be the same anymore as it was at one point. There also is a little bit of a love story in this, which is always nice, and it kind of ties in that LGBTQ plus connection through that relationship. So it's more of like a coming in of age story. It was fun. It was cute. I read this at the beginning of the week, which again, you would have seen in my vlog. But it was what I needed. It was when everything was starting to go down with the riots, and I needed just kind of like an uplifting book to lift my spirits up. And it did just that. And so I gave it 4 stars. It was a really fun, quick read. After that, I moved to Wilder Girls by Rory Power. So I was super excited to read this book. I had gotten the recommendation from Books with Lala, and some of her taste is pretty similar to mine, so I thought I was going to like it. I like dystopian science fiction type books, so I thought, hey, I would give it a try. I had heard that there were some mixed reviews on this, but I was hoping I was going to like it. However, I did not like this book. I thought the writing was poor. I felt that I had to reread things to kind of grasp what the author was trying to say, and I'm a pretty strong reader and a quick reader. I majored in English in college, and I'm a teacher. Reading is something that's very natural to me, and I had trouble understanding what the things were trying to say, and I'm a 28-year-old college-educated student, so I couldn't imagine a young adult, teenager, who's still in high school trying to read this. I felt like it was very hard to understand. The concept was weird. I felt like it jumped random places. Also, it is a split point of view. However, the one character point of view is only told in like 3 chapters out of the entire book. And I felt like it should have just stuck with Haiti, who was our main character. Instead of it just kind of like, I didn't understand why they needed to address the other character's point of view if it wasn't going to be something that would be more prominent throughout the book. Also, I thought the ending was terrible. Spoiler alert, so if you don't want to know something, fast forward this. But if you have read this, maybe you understand where I'm coming from, or you think I'm crazy, but there's like this random bear that like breaks into where the girls are living. And I find that it's so dumb that this bear who has been affected by this virus, and then it just like goes away. I don't know. I felt like it was so odd, and I kind of chuckled to myself because I felt like it was so out of place. But I did realize I didn't really kind of tell you guys what the story is about. It's about a group of girls that are currently quarantined, which I thought was ironic with everything that's going on, about this virus that has taken place, and it mutates themselves and have different like weird things like 2 hearts or extra bones, and it also affects plants and also affects animals as well. So it's their journey about being quarantined. I will not read the sequel. I'm assuming there's going to be a sequel because it kind of ends really weird. But I gave this 1.5 stars. I was not happy with it. So after that, I was hoping for a good read, and I got one. And I actually have found one of my new favorite books of all time, which is called The Knockout Queen by Ruthie Thorpe. I hope I'm saying that right. This is a coming-of-age story, a hard-hitting novel. Oh, it was such a good book. I read it in 24 hours. One of those books where I couldn't go to sleep until I finished it. So it takes, it's around 2 characters. They're teenagers. We have Bunny, who is our female character, and Michael, who is our male character. Michael identifies himself as gay, but he hasn't told tons of people. He finds other males through Craigslist ads. But he feels like he just doesn't fit in. He dresses differently than his other peers. But he finds a unlikely companion in Bunny, who is our female. And she, on the outside, looks like she has it all. She has a lot of money. She's super, super tall. She plays volleyball. Her goal is to go to the Olympics for volleyball. But because of her height, and she doesn't stop growing because she ends up discovering that she has a condition that just causes her to grow, she doesn't feel like she fits in. So these 2 unlikely characters do find a friendship with each other, and this friendship evolves over the years. So it's told from Michael's perspective, reflecting on his teenage years in high school, and you really kind of just dive in, you follow the path of these 2 characters. It's so hard-hitting. I was just taken back by a lot of it. I think the writing is so well done. It's definitely has some triggers in it, so I would be careful with things of some sexual things, date rape as well. But there is, I'm sure you can go online and look for a list of things, but it doesn't list in the books. That's one thing that I wish that it did give some type of warning ahead of time, because I could see that it would be triggering for some people. It's not like an action-packed filled book by any means, but there are some things that were really surprising for me and broke my heart. I don't know what else to say about this book, so I feel like I could literally sit here and just talk about it for time, and you guys would be listening to me rambling. But if anything comes out of this video, please read The Knockout Queen. It is such a great book. It will be one of my favorite books of all time. I can't say enough good things about it. So it was a good jump from Wilder Girls to The Knockout Queen. It was a nice, I needed a good read. Then I went back downhill again, and I read The Fascinators. So The Fascinators is about a group of friends that have magical abilities, and they are in a club, and in that club, they are going to be going to a competition to show off their magic skills, and it can help them maybe get into college. But there's also another storyline going on about another group of people that have magic, and they're kind of at odds with this small group of high schoolers. I didn't like this book. I ended up DNFing it, which was a big deal for me because I do not like to DNF books. I just couldn't get into it, and I found it confusing. So for me, when it comes to magic, I like it explained, and I like it when it's set in a realistic setting with a touch of magic. However, I don't know if this was a realistic setting. I don't know if everyone had magic. I don't know if just these kids had magic. I was so confused. I was so lost. And I don't know if it's because I don't read a ton of magic books that I just didn't pick up on those clues and hints. But I like when the magic is explained and it makes sense. And for me, I didn't understand the whole magic abilities. Like, do they sell? I don't know. There's like a spell book, but like, do they only can do the magic with the spell book? I don't know. I was super confused. So if you've read The Fascinators and you understand it, please let me know. So I would say maybe like a little over a half through this. And I just had to do it. I felt like I was starting to go into a reading rut. I was dragging. I just couldn't do it. I'm not totally against not finishing it because I did get a good chunk of it done. However, I would need some convincing. So if you think I should finish this book, let me know. I don't know. I was pretty bummed, so I didn't finish this book. But I did end on a high note for this readathon, and I finished with These Wishes Don't Burn. I really enjoyed this book. It is by Isabel Sterling. I gave it 4 stars. It was it was a quick-paced read. I read it, I would say, I think it was a day and a half. It's not too long of a read. So it takes place in Salem, Massachusetts, and it's about witches, which I love. I love, like I said, that realistic setting with the hint of magic. And this book explained the magic, that not everyone has magic. They call them the regs. And there are the witches that live in that society. And I loved it. So it's about Hannah and Veronica. We're in a relationship. They just broke up, but their lives are still entangled with each other because there's someone in their town that is trying to kill the witches in their coven. And they're elemental witches, which means that they get their power through the 4 different elements. But they also realize that they're not the only witches living in Salem, Massachusetts, like they thought. So I liked this book. It was a quick-paced book. My only thing I didn't like was sometimes the portrayal of teenagers in this book. There was some that they were really big partiers and drinkers, and that all these teenagers and seniors in high school would just go to these parties and get super drunk. I didn't like that. I think that it was a poor portrayal of teenagers. I don't think all seniors in high school are like that. It's not a big deal. It just was like a bone that kind of I had to pick it with. I didn't care for it. So it's the only reason kind of why I didn't care for it. Only that small aspect of the book, but I really did like it. I actually went and bought the sequel of it. It came out in May, and I started reading that. I'm reading that for the next readathon that I'm in, which is the Feel Good Readathon. If you don't know about it, check it out. It started last week, but I'm going to kind of do it in a week since I wanted to focus on one readathon at a time. And I like it so far. It picks up right where that book left off, which I like it. And it's a signed copy. I had no idea. I pre-ordered it from Barnes & Noble, so I could just go in and pick it up. And I opened it today because last year I was super busy, and it was signed, and I had no idea. So that was a nice little surprise, kind of made up for this crappy day of losing my entire vlog of this video. So, but yeah, so overall I did really good. I had 2 4 stars, a 5 star, a 1.5 star, and a DNF. So yes, I did have some low rated books in this pile. However, I feel like how good some of the other books were definitely outweighed the bad. So it was a really good readathon, I think, overall. I'm really happy that I participated in the Queer Lit Readathon. If you participate in the readathon, let me know below in the comments. If you read any of these books, have any comments about these books, let me know. Or you have any recommendations that are books that are similar to the Knockout Queen or These Witches Don't Burn, or any other graphic novels in general that you think I would really enjoy, let me know, because I would love to dabble more in different genres that I'm not so comfortable or normal to reading. But yeah, so I apologize for kind of this comfy vibe I'm going for, but like I said, this was totally unplanned. But I still want to just show everyone about everything that was going on, and hoping that I could lift everyone's spirits up with everything that's going on in the world today. If you haven't had a chance, please sign some of the petitions, maybe make a small donation to show your support for Black Lives Matter. That's such an important thing, and I'm hoping, like I said, this video maybe brightened your day a little bit, but I'm gonna make the best of the situation that I had today, because I know me losing my vlog, there's so much more worse things going on in the world, and I just want to make the best of it and throw this little recap of the Queer Lit Readathon together. So again, please subscribe. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up, and I will see you next time. Bye, loves.